Hello, everybody. What was the question for the day that I wanted to pin up here? I hope you're well. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Kigali, Rwanda. Let's see, what kind of writing are you most interested in doing? Okay, great. So, thank you for being here. Today, we are talking about a question that somebody had left for me on a past video. And the question was, can anyone be a writer? This is an excellent question um, because we can apply this sort of a question to really anything that anybody wants to be in life. Can anybody be a writer? In short, I will say yes. Anybody can be a writer. If you are interested in putting in the work, if you're interested in learning, if you're interested in asking the right people the right questions about how to do the thing it is that you want to do in writing, then yes, being a writer can happen. This is the thing that happens in our lives for a lot of us. There are things that we want to do in our life that we are told that only a certain population of people are able to do. One of those things happens to be writing. And it's usually because we go to school and we get taught that because you didn't get A's in English, that you're not a good writer. And a lot of times a lot of times that advice is not true. And the reason is, well, it I can go off on a whole tangent on what I think about school and schooling. But sometimes schools and the people who work in schools can be very um, unmotivating when it comes to people and their goals. And if you come from a family of people who are not helpful in trying to help you figure out your goals and motivating you into doing the things that you want to do, you kind of got to figure out on your own what it is that you want to do. As a writer, you got to be able to learn the skills. Well, first, you got to identify what type of writer do you want to be. Are we talking about you want to be a professional writer? That's awesome. Pretty much anybody can be a professional writer these days. Or do you want to be the type of person who, you sort of do things you write for yourselves? You do um, writing in your journal, which is also very valid. You get to decide what it is that you want to do with your life. Um, I got this quote from somebody who made this statement to me as far as learning art. Um, I'm learning how to be an artist, and I always I don't think about myself as being an artist. I think like I'm an artist in the making. And what this person told me was that artists are people who make art. So if you make art, you are an artist. That's it. The same thing can go for writers. If you are a person who writes, you are a writer, and that is it. Now, whether or not you get paid for it, whether or not other people are reading your stuff, that could be a totally separate conversation. That's a different set of skills that you need to be able to learn. And all of those things are learnable. But you have to decide that that's what you want to be able to do with your life. And you make the steps in order to do that. So, my advice to you, if you want to be able to learn how to write, you absolutely certainly can. The internet is filled with people, tutorials, classes, whether they're free or paid, for you to be able to learn the writing that you want to be able to learn. Things like YouTube, um, social media, all of these social media tools, Instagram, all of these tools sort of level the playing field as far as who is in your particular group or network of influencers in your life that encourage you to be who it is that you want to be. And if writing is when, in this case, we're talking about writing. So in the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years of my life, I've been very intentional about who it is that I allow into my space and who I actually share my hopes and dreams with. Why? Because everybody is not worthy of listening to and hearing what it is that you have on your mind and your heart and the things that you want to do. Why? Because the only thing these people are going to do is kill your dreams, tell you how much you can't do it. They'll tell you about who they remember you to be years ago, and you can't do it now. You're always allowed to change your mind. You're always allowed to change directions. You're always allowed to make a new decision to become the person that you want to become. This is all your own personal decision. And so what you need to do is to be able to surround yourself with people who sort of match what it is that you want to become, whether that's a writer or something else. So I don't care if some of those people are people that you are related to. Like I'm related to some really negative people. You tell them anything about what it is that you want to do, they can find 25 reasons as to why you should be afraid of it, as to why it's not going to happen for you, as to, when you were 15, you never this, that, and the other. And so now at the age of 46, um, you're not going to be able to do it because it's just not going to work for you. And what I've learned is, even though these people may be well intentioned in their own little special way, um, they may be well intentioned, but their comments are really coming from a place of their own personal failures and fears of not being able to achieve their own goals and dreams. So I'm going to tell you to limit your conversation with these types of people. I don't care if it's your family members, old friends, I don't care if it's your best friend from kindergarten. They could be fairly new friends, and you have to sit here and really think about whether or not these are the right people you need to move forward with in life. Keep your conversation to the weather and what you might be eating on Sunday. And that's it. They don't need to know about your writing goals, what you're working on, who you're talking to. They don't need to know those things. Find something else that, something neutral that you all can agree to talk about. Um, and that's really why I really love tools like YouTube and social media, because it levels the playing field on what it is what sort of information you actually have access to. So pay attention to how and where it is that you're spending your time. Do you spend a lot of time, watching foolery on television? Because that matters. That matters if you have a dream to be able to turn yourself into something else, like being a writer, and you're spending most of your so-called free time watching things on television that have nothing to do with what it is or who it is that you want to become, that television watching is going to become a problem for you. Now, I'm not saying that you can't ever watch television, but what I'm saying is if you know that you are very far away from the person that you would like to be, then you probably have no business watching television at all. That's my personal opinion. Myself, I really watch television. As a matter of fact, my apartment here, it comes with television. Had all all the channels. And when I moved in, I remember the landlady, She was all excited about, sharing with me about all the channels that I had access to. I probably had that thing in about 3 or 4 days, and then I unplugged it and I put it away in the closet, and that's where it's been for the last 2 years. I haven't pulled the thing out. And as far as watching things like Netflix, I do have a Netflix subscription. I pay for the $3 and some change subscription every month. And I'll be honest with you, I might watch an episode of something that I might find interesting once every other month. And because it's so cheap, $3 and some change, I just wind up keeping it because $3 and some change for a Netflix subscription every once in a blue moon, I think is a reasonable fee to pay for that sort of a thing. But I pay very close attention to what it is that I watch, because there are things in my life that I want to be able to achieve, and I can't achieve it if I'm watching tomfoolery on television and watching other people achieve goals, and I'm not doing anything to be able to achieve my goals. Helping other people make money and your bank account is empty. This doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So use YouTube and other social media to your advantage. YouTube is chock full of free things that you can watch to help you become a better writer. All sorts of people are on here talking about their careers as a writer. I don't care if you want to be a novelist, a freelance writer, whether you want to write travel articles, whether you want to do content marketing like I do, um, whether whatever it is that you want to do, whether you want to write your life story. People share things on YouTube because they want to be able to create a community of people who understand what it is that they're getting. And a lot of these things are free. So if you don't have much in your bank account right now, you just want to be in the environment of what it is that you can learn, you can certainly do that. Um, you can certainly do that with your writing. I keep saying that art is new to me. I was not doing any art before the pandemic started. When I was in Vietnam and they were about to shut everything down, I needed something to do because I was going to be on lockdown by myself in a foreign country, and I just needed something, an outlet to be able to do something, because where I was in Vietnam at that point, they were not letting us outside of our apartment, or our time outside would have been was very limited. So what did I do? Before they put us on lockdown, I went to the mall, got myself some basic tools, got all the wrong tools, as a matter of fact. I just needed something to get me started. And then I looked online on YouTube and found a bunch of tutorials to help me out. And that is how I was able to get started with doing my art. Now I got people who were like asking me to sell stuff, sell some of my art pieces. And I'm like, how does that happen? Because that really wasn't my intention. I just wanted to be able to create art. I never even thought about talking of myself as being an artist, or even being good at art. Um, I just needed to be able to create. And the same goes for you in your writing. You just need to be able to write, and you need to be in the vicinity of other people who are doing the writing that you want to be interested in doing. So go on YouTube, look for the free tutorials, go on other parts of social media, look for groups of people that are doing what it is that you want to do. Facebook is filled with writing groups. Many of them are free. Um, Go on Instagram and find some of your favorite writers, nonfiction or fiction, or whatever it is that you are into. Um, they often have an Instagram or Twitter account where they talk about their daily lives and they post things that they're writing about, and um, it just gives you some ideas, some sort of inspiration to show you that you can become the writer that you've always wanted to be, right? So that's all really I wanted to share today. That's about a 15-minute video. That's pretty short. So can anyone be a writer? Absolutely. I didn't even bother to give my story while I was on here. But my name is Halana Black. I'm a freelance writer by trade. I've been a freelance writer for the past 8 years, doing freelance content marketing for corporations. And I also do other writing. Like I've given myself I've given myself a project of working on personal essays that I would like to see published sometime in the fall. Um, so that's something that I am working on. But I do help people with learning how to become freelance writers on their own account. So if you are interested in talking to me about your freelance writing career, taking your freelance writing career and traveling overseas with it so that you can be location independent, so you don't have to spend your life working at a desk in someone else's office with people you don't care to be around, talk to me. I can certainly help you. Um, I've been traveling for the last 5 years. I'm on my seventh country. I started off in Thailand, and right now I'm in Rwanda, and I've been here for the last 2 years. In a couple of months, more than like 2.5 months, I'm going to be leaving Rwanda, which I'm happy and sad about at the same time. Rwanda has been such a really great place for me to be. And I am ready to go, but I've also learned a lot about this place. And I really appreciate Rwanda and the Rwandan people and what I've really learned about this place, um, beyond what most people know about, which is the genocide against the Tutsis. So I'll be moving on to Turkey for a few weeks, and then I'll be moving on to Mexico City, which I'm really excited about. I'm excited about going to a big city. I need big city energy in my life right now. So, yes, can anyone write? Yes, you can. Tell me what kind of writing you are most interested in doing. Put it in the comments. I would really be interested in knowing. Reason is because I want to be able to put together some sort of a group of writing, of writers, of people who want to be able to have time to be able to practice what they're writing and to be able to share it with them. And if I had like a small fee of $5 a month to at least to start with, what I would like is to be able to create some sort of like a membership program where we can support each other on writing our stuff. Plus, I get to be able to share information in regards to creating a real life writing career. How do you get paid as a writer? Um, so that you can have the location independence that you want to have and also be able to make an unlimited amount of money, however much you want to be able to make. I don't subscribe to the notion that writers are forced to be poor. I want to be the example of someone who's using her writing skills and making as much money as I feel like I need to be able to live the life, the international life that I want to be able to live. So yeah, so I'm thinking about like starting it at like $5 a month to be at least to be able to get started and get people in the door, and just to be able to get a feel for what it is that people value on a month to month basis. So if you have an opinion, I'd love to hear it. You can put that in the comment section as well. So I am off. I'm going to get me some kale and some avocados from one of my markets. Unfortunately, I usually do a lot of delivery for from local markets, but nobody has any kale right now. And so I know there's one market in town that usually always has kale. I just have to get up and go get it. And because it's such a beautiful day, I'm just gonna go out and get it anyway. And then there was a dress that I saw yesterday in town, and I'm hoping that they still have it. And so I'm gonna go see if it fits. And if it fits, I'm gonna go ahead and pick it up. And that's gonna be my Saturday. So thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow, Sunday. I take Sunday off as far as videos are concerned, so I'll see you on Monday. Peace.